Hey, thanks for listening to this podcast thing I'm doing. I have not decided on a title yet, so whatever the channel name is, that's what it is. My name is Robert. I go by Patches, so that's what you can call me. And I'm just a regular guy with a 9 to 5 job and a family. So what this is going to be is just me talking about my day, thoughts, and things like that. I'm by no means a comedian, and the goal of this is to try it for a year and see what can come out of it. All the comedians in the world have a podcast now, and I feel like they just took over that media. You have your scientists here and there, like Huberman and that other guy, the bald one, what's his name? Peter Attia, and then you got Lex Friedman. If you have troubles going to bed, you can listen to Lex Friedman talk to Elon Musk or something, and just like doze off. Then he's not a bad interviewer or anything. I just think his voice always puts me to sleep. So that's why throwing shade at him, I guess. So today's topic, or I wonder if I'm gonna do topics or not. But one of the things that I had in mind today was kids' lunches. Right, so I have a 6-year-old, and he's a very picky eater. And I was looking at like lunch ideas because I typically send him with the ham and cheese sandwich and maybe like like juice and maybe like a little, I don't know, chips or something, right? But he recently started the after school program, and he'll have breakfast at home, and then he would come home with the full lunchbox, right? Well, except the chips or whatever, but he wouldn't eat the sandwich or anything else that we put in it. And so I was like, oh well, what else does my kid eat? And he is pretty bad at eating. So chicken nuggets and fish and pizza and just like items that you wouldn't eat at school. Like he's not gonna heat up a piece of fish, right? So I was just looking at like other meal ideas online, and I don't know if it's my luck or what, but like all these people pack their kids' lunches like grapes and little smiley face freaking pancakes and like a bunch of like carrots with like ranch dip, and I was like, my kid's not gonna eat any of that. Like, and some others like put broccoli and they make like I feel like they're like little adult lunches for kids, and I don't know. I just don't think there's an equal playing field for parents of kids that don't eat shit. It's like I ended up making some chicken nuggets and putting them in a little thermal container thing. So hopefully he's good. But then that brought up questions like, how long does food go bad? Because that shit's not gonna be refrigerated. He's not gonna heat it up, right? So it's gonna be like whatever temperature that container is in. So that's why I went to chicken nuggets, because then I was looking at like, oh, what if I make a quesadilla or something? How long does it take for cheese to go bad if it's freaking warm? And it's like, in an hour. And I was like, well, that's not gonna work. And before we started like packing lunches, we would do Lunchables, but during the summer break I realized he was just eating the little candy that comes in the Lunchable and would not eat anything else. Like he wouldn't eat the cheese. He wouldn't make himself his little cracker with ham and cheese sandwiches, right? So it was just a bunch of bullshit. He was just throwing it away. Just eat the chocolate covered pretzels and throwing all the other things away before he got home. So So that was that, right? I couldn't figure out like what the best thing is, and I'm still in the looking on the internet to see what other parents with real kids feed them for lunch. For now, my go-tos are still going to be a ham and cheese sandwich that he's going to just take to school and come back with, and chicken nuggets. And the other thing I got is like for him to make himself like pizza, like a Lunchable pizza with like pita bread, tomato sauce, and cheese and pepperoni. I will update you on that and how that went. I don't think this kid's gonna make anything. I think he's probably gonna eat the bread and call it a day. But my concern is that he's there from 8:30 to 5, right? So it's more than my actual work day, without any actual food besides the breakfast he had. And then I was looking at protein bars for kids, and then I'm like, well, like there has to be a market, like obviously. And then there's these Z bars, and I was like, oh, okay, well maybe I'll get him those Z bars. It's like 2 grams of protein, all sugar. Like, come on, man. Like I couldn't even get away with that. So, luckily I do have those little protein shakes that they sell at Costco. I forgot what they're called, but he'll drink one of those once in a while, so I still pack them. So those are good. So that's that. If you have a picky eater, and you have any ideas on what to pack them for lunch or whatever, just post them in the comments. The other thing that we're struggling with right now is gaming, right? So I've played all my life. I grew up playing Nintendo, Super Nintendo, 64. I went through all of them. So, and my brother did too, although he kind of stopped once he was a teenager, but I still do it to this day. But anyway, like they go like, oh well, kids can't use more than like 2 hours a day or 3 hours a day of screen time. Like, okay, fake parents. Let's be honest, like we all throw that shit as soon as they start yapping, right? Like, of course I play with my son and everything, but at some point you need a break and you need to be able to do other things, and giving them an iPad or letting them play games is a great option to keep them in the house while you do the shit you have to do. Because I work from home, so like if he's here, then I can't look after him while I'm in a meeting or something, right? So that's when he gets his Switch or whatever. But lately, like he got really into Minecraft, and he wants to play it the whole day, and I don't see a problem with it. Like, I don't think I had a limit when I was growing up. I'm pretty sure I woke up like at 5 a.m. to start playing Metroid on the Super Nintendo for God knows how many hours. But, it was a one TV household, so, once my older brother or my mom or somebody else wanted to watch TV, then, I would have to stop while that happened, right? And the difference now for them is that, obviously, there's multiple TVs in the house, and it's a handheld, so even if all TVs were busy, like, he can still play. So I'm, like, not against letting him play, like, as much as he wants. My wife is a little bit concerned that he gets obsessed with it, but I don't know, like, I think it's, out of all the games he could be playing, I don't think Minecraft is a terrible one. It's fucking virtual Legos, so, he gets to build stuff. He asks for help, like, when he tries to build things, or crafting stuff, so he's still learning how to, read and write, so he has trouble, typing things up to find out how do you craft the item. So I will help him with that. Now, one thing that does infuriate me is that before bed he'll be like, "Oh, Dad, can you help me get a chest and a sword and this and that?" And I'm like, "Sure." So he'll go to bed, and then I'll play like his world for a little bit, and I'll craft him a bunch of stuff and everything. And then he wakes up, and we typically have a rule where there's no games in the morning, but I usually don't. Well, I always let him play for like a little bit, even though I have a rule of not letting him play. But he'll play like 30 minutes, and every time, like, he'll start the game. He's like, "Oh, like, you crafted me all this cool stuff, blah blah blah," and then like he's getting attacked by some character in the game, and he just fucking throws himself off the map, and then he loses all the items that I made him. And then I'm like, "Hey, like, what the fuck? Like, what'd you do with all the shit I made?" And he's like, "Oh, like, I lost it because I died." And I'm like, "Well, like, you could have killed him, and now I'm forced with like making some later." The good thing is that Minecraft kind of falls into my wheelhouse. I really am enjoying it as well. So I hope that we still play together in the long run. But what do you guys do? Do you limit your kids' screen time? Gaming sessions. Like, I typically play with them. Like on the weekends. Like, I'll play Mario with them or whatever. Like, he's also really into Mario Maker, so he'll build levels and I'll play him, and then I'll build some levels for him. So it's entertaining, and it also gives him exposure to older games, which I think is important. Like, we'll play Mario Party every now and then, like the older ones. So that's cool. That's a cool activity to have. Yeah, so that's it. So I did have like an Instagram topic to discuss, but I think we're gonna do that at a later time. So I'm gonna try and keep these episodes kind of short, since it's just me rambling about things. So if you liked it, subscribe, hit like. If you didn't like it, fuck off and don't do anything and just leave me alone. But yeah, support somebody that's not a comedian, that's trying to make money out of the 9 to 5 job, hoping that his passion for listening to podcasts and stuff works out in the end. All right, thank you. Have a good night.